What do you think your brain's number one function is? Our brain's number one function is to keep us alive. You need to know this stuff. You need to know about your brain. How do you set yourself up for success? Because you know all the resolutions, all the goals may or may not sustain you. What do you think your brain's number one function is? Our brain's number one function is to keep us alive. That means anything that's a potential danger, anything that's potentially a threat, aka anything that's unfamiliar. Because what's unfamiliar is an unknown and could potentially be dangerous. So our brain resists those changes because its primary job is to keep us alive. It has to make sure that we're safe. So even if the status quo is not what we want, it's familiar and your brain knows you can survive it because you have. So you want to implement change. You want to create the results that you're dreaming about, and yet your brain is working to maintain the status quo. So how do you work with that? Number one, you understand that the unfamiliar is always potentially dangerous and you're going to have resistance. So it's not a bad thing. Staying alive is important if we want our dreams, right? But that means that staying in the familiar becomes habitual, because the habitual is that autopilot. You know, it's when you drive somewhere and you're like, oh, I'm here, and you weren't really cognizant, you weren't really aware. Those habits, what's habitual, our physical behaviors, our attitudes, our habits of thought, they all habitual and add up to being on autopilot, which means this. Here's a fact for you. We think about 60 to 70 thoughts a day. 90% of those are the same thoughts we thought yesterday. So you can see we can get into emotional states that are habitual. Let's put that on one side, okay? And then we're going to come over here and look at, if I say to you, close your eyes, and I say to you, you suck, you know, I don't know, maybe you're just a failure. And you let that in. You don't go, oh, Susan's doing an exercise, but you let it in. You're going to feel physiological change. Your breathing's probably going to change. And you're going to feel, even saying it, I feel a little like blah. Now, I want you to think about, what did you have for breakfast? What did you have for breakfast? Do you remember? Let it go. I want you to close your eyes again. I say to you, listen, everything that's happened has set you up perfectly for you to have the knowledge, the skills, the experiences, for your wounds to have shaped you into the perfect instrument to deliver your gifts to the world. That means you are already on your path to success. You're on it. Your success is inevitable because you're on your path to success. Now see how you felt. Did you feel different? Did you feel lighter? Did you feel brighter? Did you breathe easier? If you really did it, there's no question you did. Let's do even something else. close your eyes. I want you to imagine walking into your kitchen. Stand at the entrance to your kitchen. You know where the light is, the light switch, where the drawers are, what's in the drawers, where the sink is, where the fridge is. Just stand there, aware. What's the temperature in the room? Hear the sound of the fridge, that white noise, that hum of the fridge. Hear that. Just be in the fridge. Be in the kitchen. And then I want you to walk to the fridge. Feel the coldness of the handle of the fridge. Pull the door open, feel a little fresh air, it's a little cool. And you have a lemon there. Lovely, plump lemon. Put your hand on it, feel it cold in your hand. Feel the coldness of it. Walk over to your drawer where your knives are. Take your cutting board, put the lemon on the cutting board and cut it in half. It's juicy, kind of squirts a little bit. You get that sniff of citrus. Take one half and bring it up to your mouth, smelling it, and I want you to take a bite of it. Just bite into that juicy lemon and notice your mouth salivating. You know, from that sour, my mouth salivating, talking about it. Do you feel that? Your being doesn't know the difference between fantasy and reality. So when you think a thought of I'm a failure, your body responds. I'm saying all this because nothing will change unless what's between your ears changes and how you relate to yourself, how you talk to yourself, what you say to yourself. If you constantly are criticizing yourself, which every woman I've ever worked with to some degree, we judge ourselves, we're hard on ourselves, we give other people much more of a break than we give ourselves, we pick on ourselves, we beat ourselves up. That's going to cause you to feel a certain way. So if I say to myself, Susan, you said you were going to do a live and you're not doing the live, and I get on myself, I'm going to feel kind of down and I'm going to sit. And because I feel kind of down, I'm probably not going to do a live. And then I can't say no result, because I'll get a result. I'll get a result that affirms what I said to myself. Susan, you're kind of a failure, you couldn't do it. And that's called a feedback loop. It's a negative feedback loop. Let me know if this makes sense. So important. You have to interrupt those automatic thoughts, that 90% of thoughts that have brought you the results that you have today. You know, I can, at the drop of a hat, go into law of attraction and all that, but we're talking about this in a practical way because it is all practical. So if you say, you said you're going to do a live, well, I'm tired, it's a little earlier than I thought, let me just make a video. I'm supporting where I'm at. I'm not manipulating myself. Well, you should be tired and you should, and of course I could do it. I'm making a big deal of the live, but it's just an example. So I do the live because I feel supported. I feel like, well, I can do that. So I do that. So I get a different result. This is true in the moments of your day, every single day. They set you up for success, or they set you up to keep getting the same results that you got before. I want to know from you guys what you got out of this and what your questions are, because I love you. See you soon.